Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm coming at you with a video that is extremely late. Every year I make a video that I talk about the series that I completed in that year, and I forgot to do one for 2016, so I'm going to be doing it today. If you want to check out any of my previous years of completed series, I will be putting those in the description box so you can check them out. I think the first one was just when I started BookTube. I just did one that I had completed since my childhood, and then I've done one every single year since then, I believe. I think I did one for 2014 and then did one for 2015, and now this is 2016. I did not complete as many series as I was hoping to. Last year I think I did like 18 or something like that, and the video was 20 minutes long, but this year I only completed 6 series. The first of those is going to be the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series by Ransom Riggs. This one is a vastly popular one on BookTube, but it follows really this one guy named Jacob, and he goes to this island to see where his grandfather lived when he was a child before he recently passed away at the beginning of the book. And while Jacob's there, he ends up running into all of these children that have peculiarities. I have a hard time saying that word. But they all have weird stuff that's going on. Like one girl can float, another girl can produce fire with her hands. So one boy can communicate with bees, stuff like that. And then everything really starts off from there and him learning about these peculiar children and the world of peculiarity. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And obviously a lot of other stuff happens, but I'm not going to go into that and spoil anything. I really liked the series at the beginning, and as the series went along, I lost interest in it. So I ended up giving the first book like 5 stars or something when I first read it, however many years ago that was, and then I gave the last book, Library of Souls, 3 stars just because I had forgotten some stuff and I just wasn't as invested as I was hoping that I would be. With this series, a lot of people think that it's going to be a horror book because of the, you know, the gray tones and the scary looking pictures. Like here are some of the pictures in it, so it just seems like it would be a lot darker toned, like, ooh, yikes. But it's really just a fantasy YA adventure story. It's not as dark and sinister as people think that it is, and I think that's why people end up being disappointed with it. But if you go in with expectations of what it actually is, I think you'll really enjoy it. The next series I completed is the Reckoners Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This is a YA science fiction series where this event called Calamity happens, when this object appears in the sky and then people start developing superpowers, and then the people that have superpowers end up being evil. It mainly follows a boy named David who witnesses his father being murdered by Steelheart, which is one of the epics, which are the super powered people. And then David decides that he wants to take down Steelheart and start getting his revenge on all of the evil epics. It has tons of weird and like quirky, not making sense metaphors, so there's obviously some humorous things going on as well as the adventure, and I really did enjoy the first 2 books. I think I gave them both 4 stars, and then I was disappointed in the third one because the really whole world explanation didn't make any sense, and I was not very satisfied with that one. I then finished the Blackwell Pages trilogy by K.L. Armstrong and M.A. Marr. This series also started off really good for me. I really enjoyed this first book. I loved all of the different mythology elements. It follows these children that are the descendants of gods because the gods have died a long time ago, and they have to relive the myths of their ancestors because they inherited their ancestors' powers. And also something I really liked about the series was that even though they have to stay within the same bounds of the myths, they can change small things that will have bigger impacts going down the line of the story. So I really liked those elements, but it became a bit formulaic and episodic, so the characters would reset for each book and have to deal with the same problems over and over again. So in the last book, the third book, I ended up giving it 3 stars. But overall, I think as a whole series is probably 4 stars for me again, which is a trend apparently. I also finished the Deadlocked Trilogy by P.T. Hylton, who is a booktuber. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. This is one of the most unique series that I've ever read in my whole life. It follows a guy named Frank that is released from prison early, and he goes back to his hometown, but there's some weird stuff going on, and this guy has kind of taken over their town, and no one's allowed to leave because if you do leave, then there are these things that will kill you. And it's a mystery thriller science fiction fantasy book and it is so fast-paced and exciting and fun and interesting. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave them all 4 to 4.5 stars. And what's cool about this one is if you buy it off his website, he will do handwritten annotations in the book. Let me find one. See, so right there he's written a little note, and each book is different. So I really liked that as well, and I definitely recommend this one. The 5th series that I completed is the Artemis Fowl series. This one was a long one coming. It took me so long to finish this series, years, because there's 8 books, but I really did enjoy it. It follows a boy named Artemis Fowl who is a super genius, but he's evil, and he discovers that fairies in a fairy world exists, and so he uses the fairies to accomplish his own goals. But over the course of the series, he obviously changes and grows as a person. But the series is so much fun and quirky, and he's very smart and witty, so I really enjoyed that. I also like that on the bottom of the page there's this code that you can translate and figure out what the secret message is, and I really enjoyed that aspect, and I definitely recommend this for middle grade readers because it is really fun. And the last series that I finished in 2016 is Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians by Brandon Sanderson, or the Alcatraz series. I did a book review on this, which I'll leave in the card symbol, you can check it out, but I love this series so much. I ended up giving the first 3 books 5 stars, then the 4th book I gave 4 stars, and the 5th book I gave 5 stars to. It is that amazing. Follows a boy named Alcatraz Smedry, and on his 12th or 13th birthday, he gets a bag of sand in the mail, and then his life pretty much goes crazy after that. He finds out that he is not actually an orphan and he has family, and his family all have these weird talents, and the talents are superpowers, but they're awful superpowers. So Alcatraz's is to break things, his grandpa is late to things, and how they use their different talents are really fun and interesting. Definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite middle grade series ever. So those are all the series that I completed in 2016. Not too many, but at the beginning of the year, they were kind of not so great. But then towards the latter half of the year, I had some really great ones finished. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below which series you completed in 2016. I would love to know. Are there any series that you know that I am reading that I need to finish sooner rather than later? Anything you want me to know, leave it down below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.